Many people have it. They have? No, have not. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why I wanted to hear about it. People live there. We kept getting mobbed because they wanted to talk to us.
Good morning, everyone. If I could find a chair, and we'll get started right away this morning. We have a lot to cover in 1 hour, and so it's my pleasure to introduce our musicians this morning, Craig Haley and Peterson.
Hi. I'm a singer-songwriter from here in beautiful Arizona, and I like to write the songs that I sing, so I wrote a song for you this morning, which is to get you going. It's a call and response song, so that means I sing a lyric out to you, and what happens?
You respond.
Okay, so we're going to see how you do, okay? Here we go. I release. Okay.
Oh,
Is this working? Okay. Try singing. One more time, here we go. I release. That was really good. Now just keep it up for the whole song and it'll work out great. Here we go. I release. I let go. I let God. 'Cause I know it is done. It is so. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I release. I let go. I let God. 'Cause I know it is done. It is so. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. 'Cause every day I pray. Every day I pray. Every day I pray. And unity. And unity. 'Cause I release. I let go. I let God. 'Cause I know it is done. It is so. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. They really happened. I release. I let go. I let God. 'Cause I know it is done. It is so. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Oh, it's time to greet your neighbor.
Hallelujah. You have to stand. And get
All right, let's find our seats. We will also have coffee and fellowship after church.
Cowbell,
Do we have any newcomers today? Wonderful. I hope I don't embarrass you too much, but we'd love for you to stand and introduce yourself. I've had the pleasure of meeting you, but I don't know if everyone else.
Yes, my name is Kathleen Mitchell.
Kathleen Mitchell, and are you from Sun Lakes?
No, I live in Gilbert.
We're happy to have you with us. You are from the organization of...
Well, I don't know if I'm with any organization, but yeah, we met because I facilitate discussion series on ambiguous loss. My husband had Alzheimer's, and ambiguous loss is when someone is here but they're not here, and that's why we met.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. So someone you may want to talk to because she's into some really cool things. Anybody else here for the first time? Okay, Peterson. Please tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm John Peterson. I'm with the band with Craig Haley, and we're from Ahwatukee. We're glad to be here.
Glad you're here. Okay, so yes.
I'm Diana Perez, and I'm here for the first time, and I'm happy to be here too, see what it's all about.
We're going to have the privilege of listening to Diana next week. Play. She'll be our musician next week. So we have she sings and plays, yes. So pleasure to have you here. So we have a welcoming statement for our newcomers. So we say this together. We love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. And now we're going to go over we're going to have our opening prayer with Lois Below.
Yes, it's Lois Below. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, let us pray. Heavenly Father and Earthly Mother, we appreciate your presence here this morning at our gathering at Unity Church of Sun Lakes. We know that you reside within each one of us, and we ask that blessing that you are come forth and be with each person that's participating in the service this morning, that their words may be your words, filled with compassion, filled with love. And we ask for the rest of us in the congregation that we hear this morning that which we are seeking, that which we desire. And knowing the truth of you, God, that you are everywhere, within everything, we feel the oneness this morning. For together in the heart we are all connected in love and light. And we ask that this love and light go beyond the rooms that we are here. Go out to places in need, places asking for your love and your light, like Australia, struggling through wildfires. May people that are there be comforted and be safe, both the humans and the animal life. And allow this love and light to flow to Puerto Rico. Just had another earthquake this morning. May those people have their needs met. May they have water. May they have food and shelter and be safe. And let's allow this love and light to go further, even over to the Philippines, where a volcano is erupting. May those people be safe. May you be with them, lead them and guide them to safety. May this love and light go around the entire world, over to the Middle East, where we ask for peace. Peace in Israel, Iran, Iraq, peace on our planet. And as you bring your attention back to yourself, we say thank you, thank you, thank you that it is so. Amen.
And now let's say our mission statement together so everyone knows what we are about. We are a spiritual center of love and light, teaching and supporting one another in transforming our lives by living the truths taught by Jesus Christ and other masters. And our vision statement, a world of oneness where all people are free to express their divine potential. Yeah, that's who we are. And now we have a special reading by Tom Rothweiler.
Last Sunday, I was up in Sedona on a business trip, and when I'm up there, I always like to go to Unity of Sedona. Well, Reverend Michael Meerdad mentioned Archangel Michael in his lesson, and brought back a host of memories that I have, and how Archangel Michael has been working in my life and has influenced my life. In 2001, I was in Cornwall, on the south coast of Cornwall. There's a little hill outside of the ocean, offshore. You can get to it by a causeway called St. Michael's Mount. And I had always been intrigued by St. Michael's Mount, not so much that, but Mont St. Michael in France, where I experienced a movie called The Mind Walk, where you had a physicist, a politician, and an author walking around. And it got me thinking about nanoparticles and all that. Anyway, going back to the south coast of Cornwall, I meditated very deeply for a few minutes. And about 4 years later, in 2005, somebody came into my store and we started talking about nanoparticles, and it led me down a particular path. And, you know, wouldn't be where I am today in my career without that happening. But going back to the portals, yesterday I discovered something. Before I was at that St. Michael's Mount in Cornwall, I stayed at a little seaside village called Loo. And there was a little mountain, little island off the coast, and I didn't know what it was called. I didn't bother looking, but it turns out it was called St. Michael's Island and was related to Glastonbury, which I had been to the day before. So there's been a lot of portals where St. Michael could have been close. Certainly on my level it was close, and that's what I wanted to share with you.
And now it's time for the Daily Word with Ernie Haywood.
Hello. Today we're about inner peace. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Inner peace brings me strength, calm, and clarity. Like the soft glow of a candle, God's peace shines forth from the center of my being. This peace is part of my spiritual inheritance, always ready to be called into expression, no matter what is happening around me. Divine peace comes through me rather than through me. Divine peace comes through me rather than to me. That makes sense. All right. I knew I messed up. All right. As I remember that I am God's living expression, created in God's image and likeness. To lay hold of God's peace, I need only be willing to let go of anything that blocks it. My willingness allows my power of elimination to work through me as I release all thoughts of limitation, unforgiveness, lack, and fear. My energy continues to grow more and more peaceful and focused as I release each of my limiting thoughts. I become centered in the pure peace of God. Mark 4:39 says, "He woke up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, 'Peace, be still.'"
And now Craig will come up with Peterson and do a centering song for us. And then we will be blessed with Zonadial today, doing a humming meditation.
God is peace. I am peace. All is peace. I claim peace. I give thanks. I release. Amen. God is peace. I'm peace. All is peace. I claim peace. I give thanks. I release. Amen. God is peace. I am peace. All is peace. I claim peace. I give thanks. I release. Amen. I am peace. God is peace. All is peace. I claim peace. I give thanks. I release. I give thanks. I release. Amen.
That's my way of saying good morning to you. Thanks for saying good morning back. So today we're going to use the humming to access our place of meditation. So our intention with the humming is a little different than when we're accessing our healing center. Today we're going to concentrate on opening up our secret place of meditation. You probably have your own, each one of you has your own secret place of meditation, and we use the vibrations in our body from the humming to open the door to our meditation place. So do whatever tone your body feels good with. Do it with your mouth closed, and very relaxed, not loud necessarily, just whatever your body wants to feel, and follow that vibration in your body into your secret place. To my spatial place of meditation, my spirit is quiet and at peace as I sink into the meditation and closeness with Heavenly Father. And with our humming, we come back into the room to be with each other.
Hello again. So before John and I start, I want to take a minute to thank you for inviting us into your spiritual home today so we can share our music and our hearts with you.
Craig.
I think this one might wake you up also. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think?
Craig. Craig, turn your mic up just a tad.
Mic up.
Yeah.
Well, you just gotta be closer to it.
Nobody ever tells me to get louder. They always tell me to quiet down. How's that? Better? Okay. They always just tell me to be quiet. Craig, be quiet. Yes, I'm sorry. Reverend Dr. Craig Robert Haley. I'm an ordained animal chaplain and an ordained interfaith minister through Emerson Theological Institute. My wife and I co-chair the Department of Humane and Religious Studies for Emerson Theological. And I'm happy to be here, and Peterson here is my friend, my neighbor, my sidekick, and my drummer. And I make fun of him, and he says he doesn't like it, but he does. When I look out upon my life, I see a crazy scene. Lessons learned from things I've done and places I have been. Some were up and some were down, and lots were in between. It's a crazy mixed up melody that keeps my life serene. Let's hang out and let go. Let's let you can all go. Let's jump around into that flow. You know, hanging out in the let go. Let's hang out in the let go. 'Cause it's a let we can all go. Jump around into that flow. You know, let's hang out in the let go, let go, let go. Well, it's not as complicated as we can make it feel. At times I thought you'd overflow by the size of our ordeal. You see, when thine own ego tries to get in the tail, just give all your woes the old heave-ho and stop weaving those wicked tales. So hang out in the let go. It's a place you can all go. Jump around into that flow. You know it's called the let go. We're hanging out in the let go. 'Cause it's a place we can all go. Jump around into that flow. You know it's called the let go. Let go, let go. Life is really simple. Gonna learn that here today. We control just how we feel and how we create our day. So if you're feeling down and out in those skies, they're looking gray. Just turn the clouds inside out and your blues, they'll float away. We do that by let go. There's a less we can all go. Feeling energetic?
Yes. I feel energetic. How about you guys? That was great. Thank you so much. Craig writes all of his songs performed today, except for the ones we always do. What a treat. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
I'm a little verklempt, honestly, to hear this joyous music. And last night I was at a house concert in North Scottsdale. The Yayas performed with Point of Light and Dennis Hubert, and it's a house concert. There was about 45, 50 people there. It was tight, with a full room of like minds. And I'm telling you, the light in that room is still, I'm overflowing. And then I come here, and I'm overflowing with all of you and your light. And last week's lesson, to remind you, was God is everywhere. God is all there is. There's only one presence, and it's in you, and it's in me. And it's God as Jeanne. It's God as Craig, as Peterson, not God and. And so, hanging on to that lesson all week, relating, honoring you as God, in your divine, unique expression has just blessed me this week. Like I just, when you're in these lessons, you live them, and you become magnetic to it, and people show up as God. And I have heard story after story from you of how people's lives are popping because they are relating to themselves as the divine, and we are in that divine mind. When you're in that divine mind, nothing but good comes. And so that's what our theme this week, this month is, freedom through flow. And today's lesson is called Opening the Floodgates to Our Good. So the spiritual truth that we've been talking about last week is to bring into our consciousness that God is all there is inside of us. And it has to be our jumping off point to receive our good. Because if we don't believe that we are God and that God is in each and every one of us and in all of life, there is no direction, there's no guidance. We're just like floating around in consciousness if we don't believe that we are God. So we have to start there. And the spiritual truth we talked about from Charles Fillmore last week was that the attributes that spirit expresses are ours to express. And after we embody this truth and we understand it, and we understand that we are from God, God is in us and through us. When we understand that heritage, we can use it. It becomes usable to us. Okay? So that was part one of the talk. Part two of the talk is about opening the floodgates of our good. That's all fine and dandy. We're all God. Yay. I see God in you. But what does that really do for us? You know, all right, I'll just stick to my script here. The second part is from Ernest Holmes in his book, How to Use the Science of Mind. He had a client come to him, a woman who was a piano teacher, who believed God is everywhere. God is good. And she would talk, she has been studying New Thought for most of her adult life. She had it. And you can tell the difference between someone who has that knowledge. They carry it in their body. God is all there is. But she couldn't figure out why she couldn't manifest a student. She's a piano teacher. Why can't she manifest a student? So she went to Ernest Holmes for guidance. And so Holmes tells her, where am I? And this story is from The Art of Living by Ernest Holmes. Holmes tells her that one of the greatest mistakes that human beings make is that we are not specific with pure consciousness. Now, I don't know about you, but I was not raised to say I am God. I was not raised that way at all. I was raised Catholic. And so to embody this now as an adult, to say I am God and I am going to direct God, affirmative prayer, stating I know what I want and I thank God. This is all, fairly new to me. When I was a young adult, I didn't want to say, God, I want this and I want that and I want this, because I would have felt like God thought I was a brat. I don't want to be a brat. So I'm so grateful for this new thought teaching of affirmative prayer. It means you are grateful for that which you don't have, but you are embodying it, you're feeling it. Think about it. The only way you can manifest is if you truly know it. How can you ask for something? Let's say you want to be a mathematician. What does that take? You can't just say, God, I know I'm a mathematician and I'm so grateful. That's not how it works. You have to embody it. You have to study it. You have to learn it, and you have to learn everything you can about being a mathematician until you know it in your heart. Then you can ask for guidance and help along the way to bring you the teachers. Okay, so Holmes. Back to Holmes. So, he told her that she had half the formula. She's right. There is only one mind. But you have to direct that consciousness. So he told her to think about it in this manner. I have a service to render. My business is to teach the piano. Whoever needs my service, whomever I can personally benefit, those whom I can particularly aid in this art, who are irresistibly drawn to me now, today, this moment. And then he taught her to live in the expectancy that wherever she went, she expected to find a student that would need her services. And not only need her services, but would be glad to have her services and would be able to justly compensate her for her services. And Holmes calls this the mental equivalent. A fancy way of saying that you need to identify in your mind and embody in your heart what it is that you desire to experience in your life. So this was an entirely new lineup for her, one she had never thought of before. And Holmes assured her that her belief in the infinite was absolutely right. Her statements of God were correct. But that she had not, and I love this, she had not joined heaven and earth into the harmonious unit. So a few months after having kept these ideas in mind, she found pupils at parties, in the theater, on the street. At once, her friends seemed to remember what her profession was and began to send pupils to her. Holmes explained that there is no magic in any formula, but that nevertheless, certain mental methods of procedure persisted and believed must produce definite results. And so I understand I'm talking to an audience of many retired folks that don't really want to go out and do a service. However, you have gifts, so you could replace this idea of I have a service with I have a gift. And there are many people that can use my gift and justly compensated for that gift. You could take it as simply, I could be a friend to somebody And the compensation for sharing your gifts of friendship with another person is you get the gifts that they have back to you. Everybody has gifts to give. If we don't share our gifts, there's no purpose in life. And then you're like a ship in the wind. Oh, let's go over here. Oh, maybe I'll go over here. There's no direction. So I challenge you this week to come up with what it is. What is your service? What are you attracting to you? Because I tell you, this work makes you magnetic to what it is that you want to pull in when you know yourself as God. So there is a slide I'd like you to read with me together. I have a service to render. My service is to whatever whoever needs my service, whomever I can personally benefit, those whom I can particularly aid in this art, are irresistibly drawn to me now, today, this moment. And the next slide. I live in the expectancy that wherever I go, I meet people who would desire my assistance, who would be glad to have it, and who would be able to justly compensate for my services. So I'd love for you to work with that this week. The third part of opening the floodgates is gratitude. I love your smile. Okay. An attitude of gratitude has been described as the power that attracts and magnifies the hidden possibilities in life. In reading Wallace Wattles' great work, The Science of Getting Rich, there's a passage in chapter 7 that has stayed with me. He says, gratitude does bring you more good. But that is not the only reason to practice gratitude. Gratitude is preventative. Because without gratitude, it won't be long before your mind starts kicking in thoughts that flip into, what's wrong? There's something wrong. How many of you just wake up some mornings and feel like something's wrong? No, I do too. I do. Just last week. And then you really have to question, why do I feel like this? And all it is stepping into gratitude of, there really isn't anything wrong. And questioning that collective voice inside of our heads. Just picking up an antenna of somebody else's, something else. That's not my thought. And you have to say, thank you for sharing. Now go on the background. You're not my thought. I'm not my thoughts. But isn't it beautiful when you invoke gratitude? For example, let's say you have a hardship with a friend, a breakdown, and you're angry. The best way, the first way to dissolve any anger is to begin to think how grateful for that friendship you had been in the future, or in the past. Like, oh man, we had so much fun. I learned a lot from this person, and I'm really grateful for that. And can you understand that? It wipes away the anger when you sit in gratitude for that relationship and the experiences that you've had previous to the anger. It's powerful. Gratitude not only invokes the law of increase to our good, but it prevents the downdraft of moving into ideas and feelings of what's wrong, and thereby creating more of that. So when we really get into the stream of gratitude, there's a natural pull to a higher life. It's happening. A life with more meaning and purpose. This is a higher consciousness feeling. It's a higher tone to life and appreciation. And all the things that begin to attract themselves to us are in harmony with that gratitude. So gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and into more. It turns denial into acceptance. Chaos into order. Confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast. A house into a home. A stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past. It brings peace for today and creates vision for tomorrow. Hear my words. These are Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall do what I please. And it shall accomplish that for which I sent it. How's that for affirmative? And so we send our word into God's perfect law with faith and absolute trust in the law of God to bring about any desired end. God will absolutely mold our purposes when we allow it to do so. As we learn to depend more and more upon this perfect law, we shall find that whatever is necessary to open our floodgates to our good, it will be provided. We shall truly be cared for as the lilies of the field are cared for in rich and abundant ways. So let's say our affirmation together. I identify in my mind and embody in my heart what it is I desire to experience in my life. God bless you.
Quick story about affirmative prayer and making sure you're specific about what you want. Many years ago when I first learned about this teaching, thank you. Many years ago when I first learned about this teaching, I started hearing about this, abundance. Abundance! Great, yeah. So I started doing affirmative prayer for abundance. And I had a couple of people around me. There were about 5 of us, and we all got together weekly and prayed for abundance. We all gained at least 5 pounds. Because we weren't specific about what we wanted. I didn't want to gain weight, I wanted to lose it. I kept thinking, God, I want abundance. And, God said, here you go, Greg. Come take a chance, learn the dance, expand in cosmic resonance. Just move your feet, find the beat. You cannot help move those feet. Don't be afraid to take the lead. It's easy to stay up to speed. It's okay to stumble, it's okay to fall. The dance floor of life embraces it all. Love is the dance, inviting you in. You know all the steps, so why not begin? Love is the dance, inviting you in to the dance. Life is your partner, you have interest. All apprehensions finally dismissed. The dance floor, your canvas, movement, your brush. A masterpiece in making, there's no need to rush. And one Once in a while when a stranger cuts in, don't be afraid to go for a spin. Before you know it, it's starting to sway. The music of life can hold you sway. So let go of worry and release your fear. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Practice makes perfect. Know this is true. The dance of love is you. Once in a while when a stranger cuts in, don't be afraid to go for a spin. Before you know it, starting to sway. 'Cause the music of life can't lead you astray. So let go of worry, release your fear. 'Cause when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Practice makes perfect. You know this is true. 'Cause the dance life is in you. Love is the dance that's inviting you in. You know all the steps, so why not begin? Love is the dance inviting you into the dance. To the dance.
Thank you so much. And now it is time for our offering blessing. Take a moment to gather your offering and tithes. Let's affirm together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. I am so blessed. Thank you, God. And are offering gratitude together. We give thanks for these many blessings of today, and know they are but a symbol of the inexhaustible substance of the universe. I give thanks that 10 times this much is now on its way to me, and quickly manifests in perfect ways. Announcements. Tuesday morning, Reiki Share Group meets at 9:30 a.m.
That's not on.
Reiki Share Group meets at 9:30 a.m. Tuesday in room A2 in the Cottonwood Country Club. If you have any questions, please talk to Lois below. Prayer partner for today is Reverend Juliet Bristow, and she will be back here in the corner if you would like some personal affirmative prayer. Betty Gardner-Tutzlino has an explanation about our Unity Explores activities coming up.
Yes, and also the one we just had last week, which was very well attended. We had, I think, 20 to 30 people there for the travelogue presentation by our traveling Unity person, Kay Wilkie. And that was we're very grateful for all that she shared, because she goes places we were probably never going to go and brings back pictures. The Unity Explorers group for February, our plan is we're going to go to a concert over in Mesa at the Mesa Arts Center. And if you have never heard a really good brass band, here's your chance to hear a really good brass band. I used to have season ticket to hear these people play. They started back in the 80s. And I haven't heard them for a while, but I know they're good. The Salt River Brass, and they are going to play jazz. And you've never heard people play brass instruments like these people do. They're really wonderful. So I have a list back here. I always have a list. Thank you very much, Julia. And if you put your name on there, I will obligate myself. If I hear from 10 people who for sure want to go, spend $23 and have a lot of fun, I will go over and pick up 10 tickets, which will save you $3.50 a ticket. And you can then just get them from me. So if I have by Tuesday 10 names, and my phone number is on that paper, I will go and get the tickets. Oh, the concert is 4 weeks from today, February the 9th, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll be broad daylight. You don't have to worry about traveling in the dark. 3 o'clock, and there is a place nearby where we can eat dinner if we choose to.
Also a picnic.
Oh,
We'll talk about that later. For March, we're going to do a picnic together in the park. And Martha would like to talk about, Martha asked me last week, how do we get to talk up here? I said, I need help. And she said, I am so happy to help you. So if you, I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Actually, I was wondering how we could help our sweet little Reverend Jeanne, because I know that she had called me a couple of times and said, can you please do something? And I was like, okay, I'll do it. But then I thought, well, how else can we help? I mean, if I want to volunteer to do this again, how do I do it and not step on anybody else's toes because they've already volunteered to do something? So I just came up with a simple idea of just having a sign-up sheet over here so that she doesn't have to be calling people. She doesn't have to be worried about who's going to do it this week, who's going to do it next week. And so this sheet just has her monthly theme up at the top. So this month it says, for January, it's Freedom Through Flow. And so if we could, especially with the special reading and the meditation, maybe coordinate a little bit with that. And then there's a column that has a date, and there's a column that has the daily word volunteer, a column that has a special reading volunteer, and a meditation volunteer. So if you feel moved, if you feel like and we have some phenomenal people here who have already shared so much with us with the, oh my goodness, I'm blown away by some of our meditations, by some of our special readings. And the daily word to me is the least intimidating, because you just come and you read it. You don't have to come up with anything all by yourself. But it can still be a little bit intimidating to come up here and figure out, where do I put the microphone? And, how can I do that and read with my bifocals and trifocals? And, it's a little challenging. So I think if we can at least get this piece done, we know we're committed to doing this ahead of time, then we can make it all easier for ourselves and for our little Reverend. And one of the things I put on here was that for the special reading, we stick to a 3 to 5 minute maximum, so that allows her more time for the lesson, which I know we're all anxious to hear. Any questions on any of this? This is going to be on the table over there also for us to sign up.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And today at 12:45, we're meeting at Bettina's house. There's flyers in the back with her address, doing a class on presentation skills. So we're going to specifically work on daily word and what it takes to really feel confident up in front of a crowd. We'll go through some, and it's going to be fun. And if there's time at the end, and I'm sure there will be, we'll have a little practice time for those brave souls who want to get up and practice what we talked about. Thursday, January 23rd at 9 a.m. Wasn't that meditation? Oh my God, that meditation just vibrated me. I was in tears at the end of that, again. And so Zona has a group at 9 a.m. in Cotton Country Club at room A3. That's also the day of our board meeting. You're all invited. That's after. No, sorry. Board meeting is the week before. The week before, the third Thursday of the month. There was a lot of announcements today. I'm sorry. Oh, and Kenny, we had a lot of questions about the ballot, and Kenny wanted to say a couple words, short words.
You're getting smarter, aren't you? Okay. Some have asked about, they didn't have enough information to fill out the ballot for the summer schedule. So I've put together a comparison sheet. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the figures. They're back there, you can pick them up and look at them. But there is some information I'd like to give you. At the end of May 31, our bank balance was, we were over $2,000 in the hole. At the December 31 of this year, we had well over $4,000 to the good. And I think everybody knows what happened the first Sunday in June.
What happened?
She came with us. Our attendance has increased through November by 6 to 7 people. And looking here today, I see that trend is continuing, and I expect it to continue. And as far as the summer schedule, if we expect that trend to continue, from the board standpoint, are we serving the needs of our church community by taking a 2-month sabbatical? Or is it better to serve our church community by having service of worship throughout the summer? I know what I feel, which is certainly different than my girlfriend Shirley, which isn't unusual. So anyway.
Jeanne, I have a question.
Sure.
I feel like this is, as a former minister here, I feel like this impacts the minister, and I want to know what Jeanne feels.
I'll ask her.
As you all know, I still work at General Dynamics, so I'm here. I'm here. I want to continue to have services during the summer, if that is what people want. We have talked about me having if we do continue, then I get justly compensated with enough days off during the year. So I'm happy to keep the church open. I don't like the idea that people have to go find another church for 2 months. I don't want that to happen, because that's a pain. And I'm here. I guess I'm going to take vacation too, but I'm here, so.
Thank you.
And thank you for asking.
Yes, back here.
I guess this is a good time to ask. When we were here before, and we were here in the summer, this room got very hot. And I think that's something you need to take into your decision, that do you have the money to keep this room cool enough so we're all pleasantly happy?
We do have the money.
You do have
Whether or not we can get the homeowners association to accommodate our needs.
We just have to adjust the temperature.
Yes, somebody has to learn how to. Today when I came in, it was 69 in here. On cool. You have to turn it on heat when it's 39 degrees outside. So it just takes somebody to walk over there. Is it on cool? And over there in the summertime, obviously, and put it on a comfortable temperature for a group.
All right, one last question.
Our question is Armando and I both attend, is it one ballot per household or one ballot per individual?
One ballot per individual. As you can tell,
exactly.
My girlfriend and I disagree.
And do you need to be a member?
To vote.
To vote.
Okay.
Yes.
You need to be a member of the church to vote. Tom.
Yes,
I'm not a member, so I'll make a comment right now. Think about maybe a reduced schedule during the summer. 2 services in June, maybe something like that. I'm thinking about a reduced schedule might be the answer during the summer. 2 times a month.
Shirley says that's a good idea. All right, guys.
I told you I don't agree with her.
We gotta wrap it up.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up. 2 things. I have appointed a nominating committee of Maria Blanding, Kay Davis, and of course Reverend Jeanne to replace Mark Meeker and myself on the board after February. So if any of you want to serve, speak to one of those people. Also, this coming Thursday at 12 o'clock is the board meeting, in case you haven't forgot. So, and everybody is welcome. And we're going to discuss budgets for next year.
Is there a prayer? I wanted to know if there's a prayer meeting on this Thursday.
Yes. That's what I'm putting.
Prayer meeting. I forgot to put it on the announcements. Prayer meeting this Thursday at 10 a.m. in Cotton Room A3. All right. Let's table any. Oh, Ellen. I'm sorry. We have one more announcement.
Yes, I was asked to say a few words about Matthews Crossing. I've left flyers on the table. Matthews Crossing has been around for about 12 years. They started in the church, St. Michael's Church, I'm not quite sure where, but it's in Chandler. And they have grown and grown over the years, and they now have 4 storefronts in a strip mall. And they do wonderful things. They do 1,500 backpacks in a month for that they take to all the schools. There's children that would be without food on a weekend, so these backpacks are for them to take home. They've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 days in the backpack. And they do 20 food closets in different schools. They put food in closets so that children will be able to go to that closet and get either food for a meal or a snack. It's amazing that 1 in 4 children in Chandler go hungry. 1 in 5 adults goes hungry. 1 in 7 seniors. And 40% of the children that are 1 to 4 children, they're homeless. The schools have a special places where these kids can go and get a shower, get cleaned up. It's hard to believe in this day and age, but we have a lot of homeless people here and a lot of people that just can't make it. And we've been giving to them for about 6 or 7 years now, maybe even more than that. We've collected, this is a wonderful group. They are so very giving. It's amazing. It's amazing how much money. Just this year we gave $2,300. And that's, you know, we're not meeting in this summer or anything like that. And that's a lot of money and quite a bit of food also. So flyers are in the back if you want more information.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you. We have 51 people here today. Thank you. We haven't had that since Reverend Tony's been here. The new people that are here, please, if you want to be on our mail list or any name tags, there's papers over there by the entrance to fill out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one thing, Jeanne.
I'm losing control.
If you're on the roster, you're a member.
If you're on the roster, you're a member. Oh, a voting member. And let's stand and sing the peace song.
Is this on?
Yes, it is. Love it. Thank you.